Hello everybody, I am making today a tutorial by request about how I made this gorgeous shaker cards or embellishments. And what I have to say is that for that project you're gonna need any kind of hollow dies. It means the dies what has some opening in it or a possibility to be open. Because what you could do, you could cut around and make it as a frame, and that way you could put inside your elements, your sequence, or whatever you use as a shaken. So I used that die by Inspire. I used paper smooches, which is for that balloon, gorgeous and big. And this is Nestability dies, very nice big opening in here. So when you see the opening like this, you could totally use it for that purpose, and it's nice and big. So this one is a possibility to be opening. What you would do, you would cut the frame like this, and then you would kind of fussy cut the opening hole, and it doesn't matter if it's like very precise or not. See, this one wasn't that precise, and it's still gonna look good because it's artsy. So this die is that globe, snow globe die. It is gorgeous die. It's those generic type of dies, not made by any like famous company. It's the generic from eBay, very cheap and very nice, beautiful. You're gonna need, of course, the paper which you place on the background, like whatever you see over there in the window. In this case today I'm gonna use this cardstock pack, the pink one, $3.99. It was for $50 coupon, I think. So nice and steady cardstock. This piece I'm gonna cut, and you're gonna need the foam from Hobby Lobby or wherever you're getting your foams. The thin one for the like that part, the cover part. See. And you're gonna need the middle part, what you actually place in between the back and the front. So for the middle part, I'm using this nice foam. It's like 3 millimeters or 2 millimeters. No, 3 millimeters. Big and nice and thick and good in the color too. And you're gonna need somewhat transparency, whatever you have. It's could be packaging, it could be any transparency out of anything, pretty much whatever you have around, it doesn't matter. In my case, I'm using transparency, what I ordered like 5 years ago, 100 sheets, and it still lasts me, and I still have quite a bit, even though I use it almost every day. Okay, and about the dies a little bit more. This one is that die for a jar, that one. See how I fussy cut it, and it's totally fine. Just as long as you see the possibilities to be making kind of opening, or the opening itself, like in here, Gina Marie design die. This is already an opening, so you could do that. Or this one, Gina Marie die, really pretty one. It's a sun on or a flower. It's really pretty. See the whole, wherever you see the window, pretty much. Or this one, it's even C6 die. This one. So that was a little cup. I already placed it on the project, so just showing to you as an example. That's too the clock. You see, it would make a frame nice and round. You don't need to fussy cut it. So that one, that die I was having forever, and I pretty much never used it. And I realized recently that I could use it as an opening window. So That's why I never throw away stuff, because sometimes you're going to use it anyway. I mean, never sell it. What am I saying? Not throwing away, of course. Okay, long story short, you're going to clean up the working space and start the process. The other thing you're going to need is, of course, some kind of glitter. I got mine in Hobby Lobby. It's jumbo glitter. It's really nice. And I think it's going to last me the whole life. It's a lifetime supplies. So that's why I love that. And shakers I got in 99-cent store, along with this gorgeous, beautiful, transparent storage containers for $1 for 6 of them. And today I'm going to be using these 2 colors of my favorite. And here is going to be a die, mirror die. And this one is out of the oval nesting dies. So that way you can make a frame without cutting all this all ornaments every time. So I went ahead and I pre-cut this frame. So that's going to be a front part, right? So we already have a front part. Now I have to make the very back part. And for that, I'm going to need to trace it around like that, because you're not going to need a holes in none of that. It's kind of like unnecessarily for the background, right? So I'm going to go ahead and trace it and come back. So the tracing the die itself didn't work because the frame is a little bit smaller than the edge of the die. So I'm going to go ahead and trace the actual cutouts. I mean cutout, this cutout. I'm going to trace it directly to the paper. Okay, I traced it a second time. You could see the first one was wrong. The second one was correct. And I will just go ahead and fussy cut it. And for that I'm using my small scissors, which has a natural curve in them, because it's originally was a nail scissors. I disinfected it and everything, and I started using them for crafting, because you know, you use what you have. I don't have those fancy Tim Holtz scissors non-stick. I wanted them, but they're $10, so I decided to just kind of skip on that. Nothing is going to be harmed if I don't have them. Okay, I'll not bother you watching me fussy cutting, but I'll be back. For that purpose, for the background, you don't have to be all meticulous and precise. Proximity is good in this case, because you could always go ahead and just trim the parts wherever you feel like you have sticking extras and everything. And in the back, you don't have to have it very precise. And I only did it fussy cut this time, because this die doesn't have an opening. I mean, it does have an opening. Whatever you have, like no opening dies, like completely what would cut for you the whole piece, you could just cut out with your machine the background. So this is a little harder die I picked for the tutorial, rather than the one what you just cut and just go in. It takes literally like 10 minutes for the whole process. So that's pretty much satisfying me, the shape of the background. Okay, I'm happy with that now. And I'm going to just erase all the borders on it, that there wouldn't be, you know, any pencils anymore visible. Okay, that's satisfying. So we put it aside, we already have it. And we also have the very first part. Now we have to cut out the foam, what goes underneath, like the whole entire foam thing. And for that I decided to use this nesting oval die. And I'm gonna have this nice piece, and I'm just gonna cut around of this oval like so. Oops, something is falling. Still morning, guys. Sorry about all this clumsiness. Okay, now I'm gonna go to my cutting machine and cut that part. I only did it for the simplicity, because if you gonna do this middle part all like intricate and everything, doesn't gonna change anything. So this would be working perfectly fine, and that could be glued together because it's a mirror. So then the next part for the mirror, I'm gonna do this pre-made mirror paper, which is this isn't just a paper, and this one is the electrical tape what I placed on it, and got my bone and straightened it out. So the mirror part will be cut out of that, so I'll just go ahead and cut it. So here's our mirror part, which would go on top of that foam. And we are missing something. We are missing the opening in here. That's what I was worried about. So for the opening, I'm gonna use a second nesting die right here. Gonna cut it out, and I'll be right back. So that part is an extra part. Whatever we have in here, we could use for some other project or for whatever. This is already a mirror. It does look like one. Awesome. Here, what you're missing is a transparency. So for the transparency part, I'm gonna have to use the bigger nesting piece, this one, and cutting it, trying to save transparency as much as I can, because it's really, you know, you always need it for like so many projects. You could stamp on it, you could do anything with that. It's absolutely irreplaceable thing. Okay, just gonna go ahead and cut it out on my Sizzix machine. Sometimes this die doesn't cut all the way through. Only on the transparency. It cuts perfectly fine, any paper or anything. But for the transparency, you need a little bit of bigger sandwich, I think. Okay, so it's there. The frame you could use as a stencil for something else. Okay, time to check it out. Check out our mirror. Awesome. This is the first time I'm making this mirror shaker. That's why there's so many flosses here and there. But it will work. Look how nice that is. All we need to do is just glue it all together, put the sequins in it, and we're good to go. Okay, I am getting my Aleen Tacky glue, which is a irreplaceable thing. Always great for any project, for whatever you're working on. I use Aleen. And I'm not getting paid for saying that. I just really love it. So we're taking this mirror part. Electrical tapes, they are awesome. I really love that. You can emboss them, and it will be really beautiful. That's a great idea. I actually could emboss it for that project, but oh well. It's nice anyways. It's gonna look nice anyways. Just make sure you don't get any glue residue anywhere. And don't worry about that part. Mirrors comes in all shapes and with, you know, any kind of, I mean, it's never perfect. It's a mirror. way. Place them. For the foam, I use foam glue, but you don't have to. It's not necessarily. Eileen Tacky glue is perfectly fine for anything like that. So you get this. It's a little bit more watery glue compared to the Tacky glue. So that. You just place it carefully in here. Carefully. Close to the glue, otherwise it'll dry out on you. It will be very, very sad moment when you find out that the glue is no longer running. Okay, that's this. A little bit too much in there, but it will dry out clear. So that's good about the greatest part of this, any kind of that glue. It will dry out clear. You're not going to see anything. Now it's the magic part. You get your sequence and you start dropping it in. Yummy, yummy process. I love that. I love that the most. Okay, you get this sequence. Whatever you have, sequences, however you like them. You could use beads or you could use pretty much anything. That and the other one. The other one. Oh, it's a little bit. It has static electricity, that's why it doesn't come out. Here, a little bit of dark color. And now that, get this two opening going. And just solder it, shake it, solder it. Oh, I love that process. It's the most pleasurable process out of this dies. Oops, doesn't matter. Shakes all over the place. I'll clean it up, it's not a problem, not a big deal. Here. Don't forget to close it after you're done shaking. Sometimes, one time I didn't close and it was all over the place. Okay, here. Here. Now just kind of put them all in. Wherever. Doesn't matter on the border because we're going to glue it anyways. And now it's a time for the transparency. So it does have electrical, static electricity. That's why I usually try to be careful when I place it in. So I get a little bit of that foam glue. Okay. And make sure that the foam glue is all around the frame. Otherwise, it will have a hole and the sequences will come out. So get this. Then you grab your transparency piece. And you grab your piece and just place it in. See what it does? All kinds of static electricity. But it's not a problem. It's not going to be any... It's not going to do any bad. It's nice and mirrory in there. Oh, I love how it's turning out. Wow. Just press it against it. Make sure that there's no opening, that the sequences wouldn't come out. So that's a very important part. And like I said, don't worry about anything, any glue. It's all transparent. I mean, any glue running like over the frame. Yeah, it's already fun. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna place the last part, which is the main frame of the mirror. Gonna get my tacky glue, glue it all over the place. I usually try to cover most of the surface, that, you know, that I wouldn't have to go back and glue it again, but sometimes it does happen, so don't freak out if it's happening. It's really easy to just stick this glue under the frame somewhere and just do it. So here I get this, and carefully placing it on the transparency piece. Not bad, not bad. I like it. I'll probably bring up my stickers and embellish it a little bit, the frame a little bit more. That it would be, you know, like a decoration. Or if you want to have use your rub and buff, you could make it like goldish here and there. Okay, you see that part just because it's still white. When the glue is gonna dry out, which would be like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, 3-4 hours or whatever, it's gonna be completely all pink. So I love how that turns out. Wow, it does look like a mirror, doesn't it? Okay, I will not worry about the stickers now. I just will go ahead and set it for drying out, let it dry, and then see how I can embellish better. But that's your tutorial, that's your project, and thank you so very much for watching. I really appreciate that, and have a great day. Thank you.